Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into the latest, quite dramatic escalation between Iran and Israel.
It's been quite something.
Yeah. Our mission really is to untangle these intense events from June 2025 and, try to see how they fit into the bigger picture.
Mm,
Because understanding the timeline, who did what when, it feels absolutely crucial here.
absolutely. And what's fascinating, I think, is just how fast things have moved,
Yeah.
from this sort of shadow war
Right.
to these direct, overt exchanges. So our goal for you listening is clarity. Clarity on these strikes, the context, and, well, how it challenges what we thought we knew. We want you walking away well-informed.
Definitely. It feels like the whole world is watching this
You're
one.
kidding.
Okay, so let's get into the immediate spark. June 2025. On June 13th, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion. This felt different, didn't it?
It really did. This wasn't just another tit-for-tat strike. It was, well, a large-scale preemptive airstrike deep inside Iran.
Preemptive. Okay.
Exactly. And the targets, I mean, the scope was unprecedented. They went after nuclear infrastructure, key military bases, and even the homes of senior IRGC leaders.
Wow, homes.
Yes, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
Yay.
And tragically, I mean, this resulted in some very high-ranking casualties. We're talking IRGC Chief Hossein Salami, Major General Bagheri, and 6 nuclear scientists reportedly killed.
That's a heavy toll. The human cost is just stark.
It really is. Sobering, as you say.
And Iran's reaction, it was immediate, right? Forceful. Their leadership actually called it a declaration of war.
They did. They launched a huge barrage of missiles and drones back at Israel. And by mid-June, the numbers were grim. Over 220 Iranians, around 24 Israelis reported dead.
And massive damage to infrastructure, too, I imagine.
Extensive damage on both sides, yes.
Yeah.
The international community obviously reacted quickly. The G7 put out a statement.
What did they say?
Well, they affirmed Israel's right to self-defense, strongly condemned Iran, called them destabilizing, but also, crucially, called for de-escalation. But the key detail for this cycle, June 2025, Israel initiated. They launched that first major strike. Iran retaliated.
Okay, so Israel struck first in June. That escalation was clearly a turning point. But like you said earlier, this didn't come out of nowhere.
Not at all.
We need to connect the dots, right? This feels like a real shift from the proxy fights and cyber stuff that dominated things since '79.
Exactly. It's a new era, you could say. And just to put it in perspective, that attack back in April 2024, that was actually Iran's first ever direct cross-border attack onto Israeli territory itself.
That was the game changer moment then, perhaps.
It's certainly changed the calculus, yes.
And before this latest June flare-up, there were those other direct exchanges too. Let's quickly recap those for context.
Good idea.
April 2024, as you mentioned, Iran launched, over 300 missiles and drones? That was retaliation for an Israeli strike on their consulate in Damascus.
Correct. A consulate strike is a major provocation.
Then, October 1st, 2024, Iran again, another direct missile attack called Operation True Promise 2.
And that hit followed Israel's assassinations of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh and Hezbollah's Hassan Nasrallah. High-profile killings.
Right, so if we're trying to answer the who started it question, it gets complicated, doesn't it?
It does. So just to summarize for everyone listening, Iran, they launched the very first direct strike on Israeli soil back in April 2024.
But in this current June 2025 round, Israel kicked things off with Operation Rising Lion.
Precisely. And that sequence, that back and forth initiation, it raises some really important questions, doesn't
It
it?
really does.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean? Where do we go from here? We've clearly seen this shift to direct confrontation. The initiator keeps changing.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the pattern here,
Yeah.
these escalating direct strikes, it suggests this might be the new normal.
A new normal. That sounds worrying.
It is. Because it rewrites the old rules of engagement, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We could potentially draw in other regional players, maybe even global ones, and think about the impact on, say, global energy markets. So the provocative thought maybe for you to consider is, what does this sustained direct engagement really imply for stability or maybe instability in the region moving forward?
It definitely gives us a lot to think about. These are profound shifts and ones we need to keep watching very, very closely.